I have just been fitting these panniers, which I bought for my Meteor, to the Hunter. And these are the SW MOTECH SYS pegs. That's SYS, SYS. And it's a 15 litre size. And because of my global reach, I'll do this in both inches and metric. And hopefully you can read this. Now that's a foot across, which is just over 300 millimeters. And the back, it's 14, just over 14 inches, which is 360 millimeters. And the width is a foot at just 300 and odd millimeters. Depth 6 inches, which is 150, 160. And the reason I chose these is because for about 50 years, 40 years, I should say, I did a lot of cycle touring, and I realised the benefits of having something which was soft, so you can pack things in. Now these are semi-rigid; they're not absolutely solid. They're semi-rigid, and allows you to pack things in, whereas a hard set of panniers, you don't have any ability to jam things in. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. But that's only my view, of course. I know that others much prefer hard panniers, and that, of course, is their choice. This was mine. But anyway, this is, of course, of quite limited appeal. I realise that, because not everybody wants panniers fitted to their Hunter, and not everybody likes panniers at all. I also have a little tail pack which I've put on the Hunter, but I like panniers. I actually like the look of these on the bike, when you'll see that a bit later on, them fitted to the bike itself. And these SW MOTECHs are available at a reasonable price. Now, by reasonable, that all depends, doesn't it? Rather relative term, but at a price that I could afford, or was prepared to pay, let's put it that way. And they're made from a very nice quality 1060 denier nylon, sometimes called Dura, very tough. And they've got an inner waterproof liner which pulls right up and it clips together, so you can fold that down inside, and the top goes back on, and you've got this little arrangement here, and this is how SW MOTECH sort of close up all their things. That goes on there and pulls down like that. Now then, it comes with lots of straps, or they come with lots of straps, and these are the sort of straps and how they're attached. And that means I had to arrange something to attach it to the pannier carrier that I was going to have to make myself, because when I did this for the Meteor, there was nothing actually available. We're talking 21 months ago now. There was nothing available. I should say that there's a nice waterproof back on here, and these rubber buttons which protect it from all the muck that I ride over. The way that these also attach is on these little loops here, and I'll show you that a bit later on. But yes, that's how the panniers look. That's that part done with. And let's just put that over here with the other one. And coming back, now these are the carriers I have made, and this is the outer surface, and it's let's again get the measuring device out again. It's exactly the same size as the well, slightly smaller than the panniers themselves. So we're talking 300 millimeters, 1 foot. That way, this way we're talking 350 millimeters, which is 13.5 inches, and it's made from excuse me, this is 3 millimeters thick rigid PVC, very stiff but workable, and that's very important for me. Now I realise not everyone is going to be able to make these, but you might be able to find a little man or woman with a small workshop that can easily knock these up for you. I mean, I've only got a very small workshop, And yes, whilst I have engineering skills, they're not beyond the average DIYer, I wouldn't have said. As long as you've got a vice and ability to cut metal, you're okay. So that's what they look on the inside, and there's the other one just over here. And I was surprised. I made these originally for the Meteor, using this tubing and this, and I was surprised how easily it transferred to the Hunter, and it's actually much easier to put on and off. It attaches to the Hunter through these holes in the tubing, which is flattened. Now the tubing is, if I can turn it around that way, the tubing is 12 millimeters outside diameter, which is half an inch, and it has an inside diameter of 9 millimeters, which is about 3/8 of an inch, and it makes for a very rigid mounting. These are called P-clips, and they've got rubber around them, and I'll show you those in a moment. Stainless steel, and that holds that solidly. It isolates it from any vibration that might be present at the back end of the motorcycle. These are little rubber washers, tap washers, they could be. I cut mine from rubber sheet that I had, and they're just attached by super glue. The slots, which you see here, are intended to put the straps through, and I'll show that in a moment. So those slots are cut with a router, a woodworking router, nothing more or less than that, and that just allows me to pass straps through from the back, across the front, back into there. So we'll move on to the next stage of this. Well, these are the P-clips, or pipe clips, as they're also known. They're stainless steel. This is the rubber part. That's the stainless steel part. And they close up like that. And the screw goes through, holds it to the back of the plate. And these are available from eBay or Amazon at a very reasonable cost. There's that word reasonable again. The way this attaches through here and here, at the top on the Hunter there is a hole, which I'll show you a bit later on, and that bolt, which is 8 millimeter, goes through that hole. It's then got, I made these spacers, and you need these spacers which fit onto there. Then that goes through the hole, that part goes through the hole on the Hunter, and at the back is this nut, and that nut has a plastic insert to stop it coming unscrewed in use. So that's how that will look when it's actually on the bike itself. At the bottom, on one side, on the side with the silencer, you use existing bolts that goes through here, and on the other side use that short one there. And in terms of length, we're looking at 3 inches or 75 millimeters for that one, and this one is 40, which is an inch, 3/8 of an inch. So that's that side of it. To attach the panniers at the top to make it rigid and hold it all together, as well as the way it attaches through these slots, I've made this webbing. Now these are the SW MOTECH clips, which you get loads of with the panniers, and this is just some webbing that I happen to have, and it happens to have a red stripe through it, which is rather convenient, bearing in mind I've got a red Hunter. and it's a webbing which fits through here, and when it's in place it locks in place, and that goes over the dual seat and attaches to the top of the panniers, as I showed you a little earlier on. Right, so I'm hoping you're going to be able to see what I'm doing here. It's not easy filming this and doing it at the same time. So I'm wearing my camera on my chest, and I realise it's not perhaps ideal, but without a handy assistant, this is the best we can do. These are the straps which are attached to the, hold it there. That's the straps that were attached to the pannier, and they just pass through these clips, actually, which are attached to the pannier itself. If I turn it over like that, I can show you how this goes through. The slots which are here, that strap passes through from the back across to the other slot there, passes through that pulls that back against the pannier, so nothing is showing on this side, just these bits here, and then that comes back through the clip which is on this side. And this is easier to, this is much easier to do on the bike. So that will come through here and pass through there. Now I'm not going to show that because it's not easy to do for me here. But let's just have a look. Because the trouble is, it's all black. And that's I'm gonna have to edit this a little bit. Aha, here we come. Right. Yep, that comes through here. Avoiding that. That would be on the bike, of course, that part. That would come through like that. And then back through here, and you pull it up rigid. And that holds it absolutely solidly. At the top, you've got these, which, as you can see, match the rest of it. And that goes over the dual seat, across to the other side, the other pannier does exactly the same, and that holds it all in place. And when this is all in place, this is incredibly rigid. It doesn't need anything at the back to stop it flapping around. It's absolutely solid. So that's that part. Right, here we are on the Hunter itself, and we're looking at the exhaust side, because this is the more difficult side to make sure you clear the exhaust, get the panniers up high enough to avoid them getting damaged. And we're looking at 12mm spanners here to remove this nut and bolt arrangement so that we can reuse it. And it's quite tight, so that comes undone. So I'll probably have to edit this bit or speed it up to show that. So bear with me. Right, that's out. So that's the existing bolt there. Up here, you got a rubber bung that came out of there, and in here you've got a threaded, an unthreaded hole, I should say, to take the top bolt. So let's just get the hollow. I've left it some. Oh no, here we are. You'd think I was new to this, wouldn't you? Yes, so this is the top fixing, and we'll put that on first. So we've got the bolt going through there. We've got, I've made 2 spacers simply because it makes it a bit larger at the top. It doesn't need to be. This is another piece of stainless steel tubing I had, which is 15 millimeters outside diameter, or 5/8 inch, and that passes through that upper hole like that. Right, this is how this plate part attaches to the upper unthreaded hole, which goes through there. The lower part, you pass the bolt, which we took out earlier, through to that bit, and then up here that goes through like that. The spacer holds it away. Up here you can see the reason for having that get over and see it. Reason for having that rubber bung tap washer fitted there. That rests against the grab rail at the top. And when I do all this up tightly, which you'll see in a moment, hopefully, we'll do that up there. And on the back, we've got that shake proof, and you just have to get your hand up behind there to screw that up, and I'll do that in a moment. Now that's the bolts through, top and bottom, and fully tightened. And with that rubber against the grab rail at the top, it makes for an incredibly rigid arrangement. So it's not going anywhere. And I think you can see from that view, I hope you can, that it's close in to the bike, which makes for a nice arrangement, I think. And then the pannier itself will fit against that, and that takes it, move those things out of the way, that takes it well above the exhaust. And at the top you've got these straps which go over the dual seat, and they clip into those upper things, and that allows you to pull that up like that. So with these straps which go through the plate, that holds that rigidly, and I think you can see from that that's quite close in, as close in as you can get it. And there's some still photographs at the end of this, shows the whole thing in situ on the Hunter itself. So that's my pannier solution, my luggage solution. It means that you've got huge amount of capacity for going for long day rides or bed and breakfast, or even camping if you wanted, but I don't do camping now. And the whole lot, you can take the whole lot off in less than 10 minutes. And if you just want to remove the panniers, that's about no more than 5 minutes aside, less in fact, once you get the hang of it. So I hope that's useful. Obviously other panniers are available, hard panniers, soft panniers, leather panniers, you name it, you can get it. It just requires a slightly different arrangement to mount. Now I should also say that available from India, there's a manufacturer of a pannier carrier called Saddle Stays, they are, in other people call them, and that's made by a company called Bandidos, and I think their trade name is Legendary. That's spelled with a U in the, not the way the English would spell it. And that also attaches here and comes back here. But I would still have to make that plate. And as I already had all this, I thought, well, why not just use it again? So it cost me nothing. And it's actually, if I wanted, it was transferable to the Meteor, but I think in reality I should be using it on the Hunter. So that's it. I'll see you again soon, I hope.